For Valentine's Day, we sent Susan Spencer in search of true love, or at least the meaning of true love. And we're happy to report she's back with some lovely news. Lust is when anyone will do.
In 2004, National Geographic photographer Jodi Cobb set off on any reporter's dream assignment: go find love and capture it on camera.
Scientists say that there are 3 stages of love: lust, romantic obsession, and long-term attachment.
She started with lust, who wouldn't? And that took her, where else, to spring break in Cancun. Did these people know you were coming?
I was really out of place on the beach. I was overdressed.
You were dressed.
I know, I had clothes on.
Stage 2, romantic obsession or attraction, required a trip across the ocean to Italy.
You're obsessed. It just takes over your whole life. It's a state of need. You can't eat, you can't sleep, you can't think straight.
Her photographs from the streets of Rome and Florence certainly make her point.
Can you imagine a world with everyone in that state of romantic obsession? We wouldn't have roads, we wouldn't have bridges, we wouldn't have a vaccine.
No,
we'd
be sitting around looking at each other.
Right, we'd all be nuts.
Which is why, with any luck, romantic obsession becomes attachment.
I found a couple in Ohio with 20 children and...
You said 20?
20
children? That's attachment.
That's, 75 grandchildren and 132 great-grandchildren.
So did you come away from this feeling like true love really does exist?
Of course it does. It's a universal emotion. It's the strongest emotion we'll ever feel.
So maybe it's not surprising that according to a CBS News poll, 86% of Americans agree that true love is real. And even more encouraging, 2 out of 3 say they know this because they have experienced it. How would you define true love?
I think it's soul recognition. Like you see each other deeply. The person becomes a part of you, like your arm, like your nose. You are considering them with every move that you make.
This is the first book?
That is the first one.
Accidental Diva.
Yeah.
Tia Williams has written the book of love more than once. She's a best-selling romance novelist.
Part of writing romances is, trying to solve the unsolvable. What brings people together? What makes people stay together? Eva loved Shane, and he loved her.
But don't necessarily expect to find real-life answers on the printed page.
No one shows in a romance novel the work that it takes to sustain it over a long period of time.
Well, why don't you do that?
Because it's boring.
Because nobody'd read it.
Who would read that? Like the day in and day out of who's getting the toilet paper, I'm at the gas station, do you want anything? It's a fantasy. And especially now in these weird times, everyone wants an escape.
How does what we see in movies compare to what we see in real life?
Life takes too long. Movies, especially romantic comedies, usually about an hour and a half.
So this is amazing.
Yeah, a pretty great view.
Screenwriter John Patrick Shanley's story of a somewhat quirky love won him an Oscar
I'm in love with you.
for the 1987 romantic comedy Moonstruck.
Snap out of it!
He says at first he wasn't sure about pairing Cher with the much younger Nicolas Cage, but love works in mysterious ways.
When I saw the screen test, it was incontrovertible. They were born to do this.
But what tells you that?
The way their eyes light up when they see the other person with both hunger, aggression, and desire. When somebody looks at you with naked excitement that you're alive, that you exist, and that they can talk to you, you're halfway home.
We are here to ruin ourselves and to break our hearts and love the wrong people and die.
If you actually are deeply enamored of another person and you want something from them, try the truth.
We do die.
we do die. It wakes them up to, oh my God, it's happening. Time is running through my fingers and I'll never get it back. I should do this thing. Tomorrow may never come. I could be hit by a mail truck. Let's go.
This is love.
There you go.
Which do you think is harder, the falling in love part or the staying in love part?
Falling in love is sort of outside your purview. It happens to you. Maintaining a loving relationship with another person, I'm always hearing that it's a lot of work.
You don't believe that?
And, I'm alone.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a little
wasn't gonna
lazy
bring that up.
in the work ethic area. To describe it primarily as a lot of work seems to me to be excessive.
But if a little work appeals to you, psychologist Arthur Aron is your guy. A research professor at Stony Brook University, he says his steps for keeping love alive are proven to be effective. For starters, try doing novel and exciting things together.
If you've never gone to an opera, go to an opera. If you've never kayaked on a river, kayak on a river. See, the idea is that when you're initially with someone, there's so much excitement of forming the relationship, of connecting with this other person, but you get used to them. But if you do something new and challenging with the partner, it's associated with the partner and your relationship, and so it helps rekindle it.
And you as a scientist absolutely believe in true love.
Yes. In fact, that's what made me start studying it. I fell in love. And in fact, the person I fell in love with became my long-term collaborator, and in fact, my wife.
And they've been married for 47 years. As for our other love experts,
I was single for a really, really long time and was sort of getting into it.
but then
I got on the dating apps and I see this beautiful man. And then we went on the date and it was magic. And then the date just never ended.
do you believe in true love?
Well, I don't think love cares if I believe in it or not. Like gravity, and like climate change.
It just is.
It just is.
Have you found true love in your life?
More than once. Some people have loved me and I have loved them. And it's been a wonderful part of my life, an important part of my life.